Hi, good evening. Assalamualaikum. Salam. How are you guys?
Good.
Okay, the first poem I'm going to recite is about advice that a father would give to a daughter. But FYI, I don't have a daughter yet, or children for that matter. So, this poem is called "The Letter Your Mother Couldn't Write" by Warsan Shahid. Dear daughter, if you inherited my heart, then don't be ashamed of how desperate you sometimes feel, or how you stain sheets and shirts that you are sopping wet, a walking hemorrhage. Curious hands in the shower, the first menses of a young girl, a virgin, reading on a bed. You are on fire. You are like your mother. So how could I ever talk about sin or damnation when you have legs like creaking doors? You welcome goes home. So I know you will know hell intimately. Men who like to punch women in the face. Men who tongue kiss the girls like it was like your mothers. Men who hold you down, face in a mattress. Daughter with a soft body. The hardest ones will always fall for you, and you will usher them in. Seek out their sharp edges, the abrasion, and by the time he's finished with you, you will be bloody and sore. Thief marks on your thigh, your body, a burnt house of worship. Habibti, you do not deserve it, but you will be loved in fragments and fraction until you no longer look like yourself, until your mouth just a quiet whisper of his name. Oh my little girl, rip him out of your body. You come from the long line of women. Hawa, who doused herself in petrol. Ayan, who pulled out her own teeth. Khadija, who fell asleep in the river. Forgetting is the hardest thing in the world. Remember that. Thank you. Okay, so second poem is for myself. I wrote it after I watched this movie.
What movie?
It is called Article 475. Okay. And so begins the erosion of my brain cells as I repeatedly smack my forehead throughout the film. Tears of laughter flow down my cheeks as I watch my little brothers actually cheering up over the crap. And that's the only joy I got from watching this infamous Ombak Rindu. I could have just leave it at that, an unsalvageable, incredibly messed up love story, and not write a poem about it, if not for the horrible realization that came to me after. The realization that this is what people in this country perceive as an epic love story. This film, which features a woman who devotes herself wholeheartedly to her religion, Dua, Reda, and Pasrah, are her only weapons, while the word fight does not exist in her dictionary. No. She is a weak woman, relying upon the mercy of men who rapes her. Mahukah Encik menikahi saya? Will you marry me? She said to the man who buys her as sex slave. Stockholm Syndrome at its best, baffling. A movie that garnered more than Ringgit Malaysia 10 million, watched by society of all ages, the highest grossing romantic Malay movie of all time, the defilement of a Muslim dignity for all the world to see. Proud are we as a nation, our identity is our synonymously equating piety to weakness, weakness to strength, love to rape. Hey, everything's good in the end. They love each other. A happy ever after. Fool are the naive who probably thinks that Article 475, which state that Article 475 of Morocco's Penal Code law, which allows rapists to marry their victims to avoid persecution, should be applied here in Malaysia. Hey, it's just a movie, so chill. Well, tell that to rape victims who still feel the weight of her rapist upon her every night before he sleeps, whose breath still a grunting whisper in his ear. His sweaty, musky smell clung to her like a permanent tattoo to remember him by. Those women who can't look at men the same way again. Really, show this movie to them while you tell her how you think the rapist made such a fine husband. Thank you.